Hello, students. I hope that you all are good. This is Anup sir, your English teacher from Devasha International Public School. Students, in this video, we will understand the poem The Last Bargain for Class 8th, which is written by Rabindranath Tagore. Students, before I begin with the poem, let me give you a small introduction about this poem. The Last Bargain by Rabindranath Tagore is a poem composed in blank verse. It conveys a powerful message which is apt for today's materialistic world, that no power, wealth, or lust can make us content. Lucidity and innocence are paralleled. The poem opens with the speaker walking on a stone paved road, which means that life is not smooth, asking out to hire him. Students, this poem is about someone looking for a job. However, he wants to be hired without losing his freedom. The poet tells us that he received offers from the rich, the powerful, and the beautiful. However, he turned all them down. At last, he met an innocent child. He immediately accepted his offer. Students, before we begin with the poem, there are some points given at the top of this poem. Let's check it out. What is it all about? A bargain is an arrangement in which both parties promise to do something for each other. Someone is looking for work, waiting to be hired. He strikes a bargain but thinks it worthless. He strikes twice again but doesn't like either. Finally, in the last bargain, when he is hired for nothing whatever, he is happy as never before. What is the bargain and why is it the best? Students, now let's begin with the poem. Come and hire me, I cried, while in the morning I was walking on the stone paved road. Sword in hand, the king came in his chariot. He held my hand and said, I will hire you with my power. But his power counted for naught, and he went away in his chariot. In the heat of the midday, the houses stood with shut doors. I wandered along the crooked lane. An old man came out with his bag of gold. He pondered and said, I will hire you with my money. He weighed his coins one by one, but I turned away. It was evening, the garden hedged with all aflower. The fair maid came out and said, I will hire you with a smile. Her smile paled and melted into tears, and she went back alone into the dark. The sun glistened on the sand, and the sea waves broke waywardly. A child sat playing with shells. He raised his head and seemed to know me and said, I hire you with nothing. From henceforward, that bargain struck in child's play made me a free man. Rabindranath Tagore. So, students, first one was the king's proposal. The first offer came from a king early in the morning. He had more power than wealth. He offered the man his power in return for the man's labor. The man, however, felt that the king's power was not worth much, so he refused the king's offer and went away from there. Students, the second proposal was of a rich man. The second proposal offer came in the midday when all the doors in the village were closed. When it was really very hot, an old man offered him lot of gold in return for his labor. The man was not much impressed. The wealth did not attract him, so he refused that rich man's offer and went away from there. Students, the third proposal was from a beautiful girl. Then it was evening. There was natural beauty all around. There were flowers in the hedge of garden. A beautiful girl came to the man. She gave a pretty smile. She offered to give the man her smile in return for his labor. However, the man found that her happiness was only sorrow. So he refused that offer also from that beautiful girl and went away from there. Students, the last proposal was of a small boy. Ultimately, the man came to a seashore. There he found a child playing with shells. The child offered to take his service in return for nothing. The man accepted the offer because while playing with the child, he was still a free man. So, students, the poem opens with the speaker walking on a stone paved road, which symbolizes that life is not smooth, asking out to hire him. He came across a king who was riding on his chariot with a sword in one hand. The king offered to hire the narrator with his power and authority. However, the power of the king had no value for the narrator, and he thus moved ahead. During the midday, the speaker wandered along a twisted lane comprising of houses with shut doors. An old man with a bag of gold came out and offered to hire the speaker with his money. However, money will soon be spent and cannot buy as every happiness of this world. Therefore, the old man's wealth could not persuade the narrator to sell his service. During the evening, the narrator passed a garden hedge, which was covered by various flowers. A beautiful maiden came out and offered to hire him with her flattering smile. However, since beauty took a short lift and would soon fade away, he rejected her, upon which the maiden's beauty, flattering smile melted into tears, and she then went back alone into the dark night. The next morning, the sea coast shone golden, and the sea waves broke in a rebellious manner. A child, which symbolizes cheerfulness, was sitting on the sun glistering coast playing with seashells. He offered to hire the speaker with nothing. The narrator was attracted by the flawless character of the child and was overwhelmed by the simplicity and innocence which did not give materialistic pleasure but was more satisfying. Thus, the bargain was struck by a child who hired the speaker for nothing. Through this poem, it is significant that power, money, or lust could not free the speaker. However, the power of innocent had the ability to break away the speaker's bondage. The child had the power to enslave him. So, students, this is all about this poem. I will be sending you the notes of this poem with the video, which you will have to write down in your classwork. So, this is Anup sir saying thank you and goodbye.